Alright, finally we are back with some players on the server, although a lot of them are bots. But still, it's going to be an interesting game coming up here. The third in the grand finals here for Dreamhack Valencia. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. I know it's been a bit of a long day and some interesting games, some of which I've missed, unfortunately. I'm going to go back and watch them. I know the one between Epsilon and Hellraiser is probably worth watching just for Shoxy's show alone. But Semler, in this match, it's actually gone to the third map with Epsilon kind of destroying LDLC on Mirage, then LDLC destroying Epsilon on Inferno. What do you think is going to be going on for this map?
Who wins the knife wins the map?
It's tempting to say that, right?
Does history repeat itself, Anders? Because apparently, so I've been told history is like cyclical, right? You know, we're cursed as a race to repeat, you know, it over and over again. Do Epsilon just 16-0 LDLC right now?
There would be a certain symmetry in that sense, you're right. I don't know. I think what I was going to say earlier, because I promised that I would try and, you know, and say something intelligent, so here it goes. What I was going to say is that from an outsider's perspective, if you don't know the players personally in real life, or if you're not someone who plays with them regularly when you're on their TeamSpeak and listen to what mentally they're like, it's really, really hard to try and judge or, you know, quantify a team like that from the outside. So what we have to do is we have to try and say, well, what can we look at? You know, what kind of symptoms do we have? And I think one of the great symptoms of a team that is not really a top team, but just a team that's sort of trying to be, is actually when they play in anti-eco rounds and they throw them away. Well, you can lose anti-eco rounds for a lot of different reasons. Like, the other team could just be playing better than you are in that round, and that's fair enough. But if you lose them because you adopt a mentality that just says, we've basically already won, we're at a great state, let's just, you know, finish these last round and then on to the third map. And it seemed to me like LDLC didn't show as much of that on Inferno. So that's a good indication, I think, that they, even if they've been struggling this tournament, that they have mentally something to offer us. And that's good. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, well, to me, it just looked like LDLC were a team that were in their element again. It's not like they haven't put work in on Mirage, and it's not like, you know, they aren't familiar with the map, but their play on Mirage and their play on LDLC, or on Inferno rather, it was just night and day. There was no comparison. It was just a completely different beast. So I think LDLC, it's just, you know, like perhaps that map that they just had on Inferno is going to be what they need to find themselves again and be able to bring it here on Nuke, because they should be able to actually give us quite a performance here as well.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, historically speaking, it's a little bit tricky, because I think both these teams, when Epsilon were Clan Mystic, obviously a different lineup, and when LDLC were, well, still LDLC, I think they, I think both these teams actually have taken maps off of Titan, right? On Nuke. I believe they've both managed to beat Titan on this map a couple of times.
Sure, there is that, but I always take that with a grain of salt, because, like, LDLC in particular, or even Clan Mystic before that, I guess, or whatever. But like those maps, it's like talking about any of the Swedish teams going up against NIP, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If there ever was a team that you were going to study and know by heart and know all their tips and tricks and everything, their tendencies, what they like to do, it's going to be Titan if you're a French team. So, you know, going in on Nuke, they probably, you know, that's definitely a map where you would want to know every little bit of information you could about the team that you're about to face, the best team in France.
I absolutely agree. And that's, I
suppose, holding on to that title by a thread now.
And if you add to that, which I think is definitely true, if you add to that the fact that we're not even talking about the same players,
that's the thing.
It becomes very hard to pull out, you know, historical data to try and analyze this game. But what it does mean is I think both these teams have a decent idea how to play Nuke. If I had to say something, and this is even not even like a real prediction, but one thing that LDLC could have working for them is the fact that they have Kaylee opening outside. And I remember in the past I've seen him be very effective. But all of that sort of hinges on the idea that they even get to play the CT side, and that they get to play it long enough and with a good enough economy to buy an AWP on Kaylee. So there are a lot of ifs before any of that even comes into play. Not enough, I think, that we can just, like, you know, call, you know, that LDLC are favored or something here. I actually have no idea who's going to win this match.
No, that's a real tough thing. It's like it seems to me now after we've gotten the measure of them, right?
Yeah.
That the knife round is just going to be so insanely important for both of these teams. Like they absolutely have to win the knife round. They absolutely have to get a very strong start because Inferno CT sided, but not by like a massive margin. It's just a few percent. Nuke definitely CT sided. This is a map where we expect to see that 10-5 scoreline. And that should be regular, right? If the terrorists get more than 5 rounds, then it's just like, okay, the CT side really screwed up a couple times. So Nuke is definitely that map where you want to get that CT start, you want to get that strong start, and then just roll a bunch of rounds through on CT side. Yeah. And then just have you just need to get 4 rounds on the T side, right? Something like that. So
that is the ideal scenario, and it seems like if we just go off of the data we have from the first 2 maps in this best of 3. It seems like none of the teams are very good at handling being down behind early on. None of them were really able to recover massively from the first deficit there. So maybe that puts even more pressure on this upcoming knife round. I'm a little bit scared for both teams. Like nobody wants to lose a grand final by losing a knife round, but that could not entirely be what's going to happen. I mean, that's maybe a bit too much to say that, but it could have a really big impact here.
All right, well, here we go. We're about to get into the final map here of Dreamhack Valencia. This is the grand finals of the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament. It's French on French, as we can see, LDLC versus Epsilon, and the map is going to be Nuke. Now, this knife round is going to determine who's going to start on which side, who's going to be on the offense, who's going to be on the defense. And as we were just saying, it's imperative that you start on the defense, on the counter-terrorist side. So a lot of pressure on this one round right here. You absolutely want to get that strong start for your team.
That is exactly right. I mean, there are some people who will argue that it doesn't make that big a difference. I know Lopez is one of the guys who will say, well, even if you lose the knife round, you start off on the terrorist side, you still get to play the CT side, and you get to play it in just the same way. But I think for a lot of teams, mentally, it does make a big difference. But obviously, he's right in his own way because, if you are strong enough mentally to be able to put it behind you, then yes, you have just as much a chance no matter what side you start on.
If you're a nip, right? But I mean, it's like not everybody's a nip, and it's like soul crushing on Nuke in particular. If the CT side gets a strong start, gets the pistol, gets the follow up round, gets the 4th round, it's really hard to come back from that on Nuke in particular because it is such a dominant CT sided map. So that's a lot of pressure that starts to weigh on you, and you don't want to be starting on it. But it does look like LDLC will be the ones who are starting on the CT side here, Epsilon on the T side, and now we get to see, do Epsilon have something? This pistol round now is going to be insane. They have to pick it up.
Yeah, and that's maybe one of the reasons why as well this pistol we shouldn't give too much weight to the knife round, because if Epsilon come back and win this pistol round, then all of a sudden they have a very good start on their hands. So we're about to see. Welcome to the show, everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining us here at Room on Fire. We'll see. Kaylee spots everybody outside. He must have at least seen 3 people, and that's a big indication. They're going to take over and then run all the way over to Hell, where they take down Happy as the first kill. Yeah,
Happy actually getting picked very quickly there, so that's not going to help things here for LDLC. The defense, now you can see them kind of rotating all over the place, not really too sure where they need to be going. Shoxy is actually going to take point, wrapping into ramp room, but that's the wrong way. Now it's going to come down to Apex, and he gets clipped immediately. GMX picks up Uzi. There's Kaylee finally putting one on the board for LDLC, but he's 1v4. He's alone.
Yep, this is the matchmaking strat coming out. Kaylee trying to see if he can turn it around, but he's out of bullets. He will go down. Mistu is the one who picks up a 4-man. That is... Okay, so this is something we sometimes do in matchmaking. When you're calling and you're just having fun, you just say, all right, let's just run outside, run all the way over to Hell, then run back into ramp room, then all the way around back into lobby and back into the A-bomb site. And that's what they did. And LDLC weren't able to keep their composure. What a great strat from Epsilon. They're keeping it interesting here.
That was the ring around the rosy strat. That's what we're going to call it, right? Because they just went everywhere. I think Happy made a bit of a mistake there, though, staying out as long as he did. I was expecting him to just peek from heaven and, like, just get the information. How many people were in yard? Are they going secret? Are they going hell? That sort of thing, right? But he decided to stick around. And I felt like that, the punish there was definitely worthy. Epsilon, they didn't miss out on the opportunity to get rid of him very quickly for taking that risk.
No, felt like not. Happy here with a little bit of uncoordinated play between him and Maniac, because Happy actually had a flashbang. He could have flashed Maniac out of Volcano, out of Secret, but he just kind of didn't. And I think he was even supposed to follow that flash earlier, so I think there was some sort of communication issue between the LDLC members there, because that flash was obviously going to be a key part of the aggression that they put into the courtyard, and they just kind of didn't really ever do it. So that's unfortunate. They get 2 kills on Shocks, or a kill on Shocks or Mistu, so that's alright, but so far Epsilon are off to a good start.
Yeah, Epsilon looking very solid indeed. They've got 3 guys. I mean, still this is LDLC getting 2 kills. Pistol round, pistol armor buy. Kaylee not buying the pistol and armor, by the way. You know, he wants to get that AWP, as you mentioned, as quickly as possible to be able to bring it to bear here in yard. Shut down this Epsilon push that keeps rolling through. But LDLC, I mean, now Happy's been spotted, and they aren't going to let him live. They have to close, though, with the CZ75, and that's always nasty. But SF will find him through the wall. And we have Epsilon with 2 rounds on the board.
Great stuff. They actually managed to wallbang him down, and I'm wondering how? Where did they shoot through? Alrighty, so it was just right here. Fair enough. I was just a little bit confused. Good stuff. That is going to be 2-0 in favor of Epsilon, and LDLC obviously not able to buy just yet. And I think the most horrible losses we've seen on this map have come from CT sides that have lost the pistol round, and then also lost the 4th round. That's where it gets very, very painful all of a sudden playing CT.
Exactly. I mean, it's the next hurdle, right? They've won the pistol. Now they just have to win the second. They have to shut down LDLC when it comes to, or LDLC rather, have to absolutely at all costs win that 4th round bye. So, depending on how you look at it, right? I guess depending on who you're rooting for. But this is still Epsilon kind of just rotating around the map, trying to get eyes on where Epsilon are coming from here. LDLC not going to be able to hold. Happy gets caught in hell, and that's not going to be the strong start that LDLC were looking for here.
No, and weirdly, because Happy actually had a great position where DMX wasn't looking the right way at all. Sorry, SF wasn't looking the right way at all. So I think he should have been able to do at least more damage than just 15 there. Or not even 15, a little bit lower than that. So unfortunate there. Apex definitely got caught off then, a little bit too much on the way of him. And Maniac falls down. Could have actually died from the fall damage there. Uzi trying to do some damage onto SF and will be able to take him down. So in terms of taking rifles away from Epsilon, LDLC have done an alright job. Not an incredible job, but sort of, you know, average, and that's good. That can be enough if they can win this round. And Kaylee actually picks up an auto sniper. I'm guessing that's what you are watching at. Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting the AWP. Oh, okay, this changes things. Where does Kaylee go? I mean, I imagine he's going to take it out into yard, a la Get Right? He's just going to hold over here, try and stop them from pushing through. The question is, Epsilon, they have to know, and we can see them already. They know exactly what's up, and they're going to go for an upper rush.
You know, Apex starting off great, and then Uzi in the exact right timing here. They have basically won this round. The bomb is down. Now they just need to not screw it up and just play safe. Great grenade from SF. There's no really outplaying that kind of grenade. Maniac down here waiting, and he can hear Kiyoshima. He must know exactly where he is. This should still be LDLC's round as long as they just wait. It's on Epsilon to try and pick up the bomb and then try and see if they can put it down. Kiyoshima's right there. He gets spotted. A few shots ring through. And Kaylee walks in, takes a lot of damage. They can't throw this away, surely.
There we go. I was about to say, I'd like to see Kaylee actually take a bit more of a passive approach now that he's been dropped down to 11 HP. Epsilon still patient. I mean, they've got 50 seconds on this clock. They can wait to see if LDLC are going to get impatient like Kaylee just did. And they are managing to actually get the plant here. Maniac trying to sneak his way up vents. That's going to get caught immediately, but he still manages to pick up a kill on SF. And now Kiyoshima, he's looking to get in here, but he's just getting caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, he is, and he will go down. Still a very expensive round from LDLC. That took them from a 4-on-2 into a 2-on-2. And a lot of credit to the remaining Epsilon players for doing that much damage. This makes a big difference because with the bomb plant, Epsilon can still buy just fine in this upcoming round. So LDLC are nowhere near out of the woods yet. They need to win this upcoming round, and then they can start to maybe breathe a little bit easier.
Exactly right. I mean, we can already see the impact that this is having. You know, head armor missing on 3 of the LDLC members. Not the best nades. Uzi is pretty light. He goes for a smoke instead of 2 flashes, so you can tell that he really just wants to box off a part of the map and not have to worry about it. But Epsilon just fully equipped across the board. And this is still Epsilon. Just they are going to peek a guy forward here and try and see if Kaylee's holding this position aggressively. But Kaylee kind of holding passive. Now he's willing to take the peek, and he's going to look up to Silo. This is where GMX is. It's all going to come down to timing here for GMX.
AK versus Auto Sniper is actually got to be a little bit careful here, Kaylee, that he doesn't just have too much faith in this weapon. They're shooting through the smoke as well, and they will be happy to pick up the first kill. They've got basically 3 people covering this courtyard. One is in main, one is up ramp here, and actually, up catwalk, doorwalk, and he's going to be taking down another player. Happy with a quick double. GMX getting caught out as well. He does get the kill. Happy falls to his death, and Kaylee just haven't found any kill with his auto sniper, and somehow it's back into a 3-on-3.
Kaylee is, I mean, he got an assist. He tagged someone unknowingly through the smoke. But GMX has got some fancy footwork, man. Kaylee just can't land a shot on him. That's the reason why GMX is still even here. GMX is showing himself, and Kaylee not even worried about it. He's just changing up his position, looking towards upper. But the bomb has been dropped out in yard, and this is something that LDLC are definitely keeping in mind at this point. Epsilon, they're really going to try and force the issue here because they have to get this bomb back under their control, and there's only 30 seconds left on this clock. In a 3-on-3, that does not necessarily favor the terrorists here.
No, and this is obviously the big thing. You're absolutely right. 20 seconds. I think they're going to run and try and plant directly for B. They don't have a smoke for it, so it's not going to be easy, and Apex is going to be coming up behind. But what I'm worried about now is where is Kaylee fit into this B retake that's going to be coming up? Uzi tries to do the damage. 8 seconds left, and they are going to get it down. Now a 2-on-3, but it's not over yet. They spot one guy coming in. Apex gets the headshot. Very nicely played. All right. They control the situation, but I mean, LDLC are doing what they need to do, but I'm really worried about Kaylee not hitting these shots outside. That kind of investment has to pay off.
Yeah, you have to just, I mean, kind of surprised that Epsilon, like the reason why Epsilon went for that upper rush last round is basically they want to catch LDLC off guard and try and just put, knock them off their balance right off the start with that first buy. That's so important for LDLC, but it's also the fact that in the back of their heads, they're saying, well, Kaylee's going to have an op or a Scar 20 or something outside. So we just don't want to deal with that. We're going to go to upper site.
Yeah.
This time around, however, they ran the bomb out through there and just got completely obliterated by Happy. It was the Happy Kaylee combo. They were dealing with Scar 20 shooting at them, but also Happy pushing forward in the smoke, and that just completely stopped Epsilon cold. And there's Kaylee getting the shots. He gets 1, 2, 3. Finally gets overrun, but he's done his job.
Yes, that is how the auto sniper is supposed to work, and they can even rescue it, which is even better at this point. And what LDLC needs to do now is they need to stay with all these 4 members alive here. The bomb is down, so they should be able to. They know where SF is, and he's gonna go down. So now things have really churned. There are a lot of things that happened in these last 3 rounds. The first 2 of them, Epsilon got the bomb down. So in total from those 2 rounds, they got a bonus of $1,600, which meant they could actually buy a round more than they otherwise would have been able to. This time, LDLC in turn stay alive with 4 members, and there's no bomb plant for Epsilon. So it's not just, that Epsilon have picked up 3 rounds in a row. It's also now an economic battle, and LDLC have just taken a huge step forward.
Yeah, you kind of wonder as well, not going out there without any flashes, without any smokes. Kaylee just had free range to mow them down. They were basically relying on strength of numbers. We're just, one of us is going to land a shot on him, right? That's what's going through Epsilon's mind, and it just didn't happen. And now Kaylee is in a great position to lend support to ramp. He's playing that kind of shifty position that goes from upper to ramp, so he just kind of goes back and forth. And Shoxy is just kind of caught all by his lonesome. He's hoping to catch somebody off guard and be able to pick up a gun here. That's the big thing for him. And he is going to catch Happy, but Happy with a good spray.
Okay, that was weird. Shoxy, I'm sure he had the upper hand in that, at least initially.
Did he hit the railing? Because he did do 1 damage to Happy. And it's just like you don't just do 1 damage.
No, it's
so
true.
I'm wondering if he hit the rail with a shot there.
But it seemed like he should have been able to get an instant headshot. Well, it's not the end of the world, but everything matters. Coming down to the last couple of rounds in this half, it could make a difference taking 1 gun away from somebody. Now we're into the 8th round, and they can buy again, and GMX has picked up an AWP, so wondering if that's the answer for this auto sniper. He's got to be really quick about it. He's going to peek once, and he spots the right angle, takes down Kaylee. Good job, GMX.
Yeah, nicely done there. Timing as well, catching Kaylee with a nade in hand. That was just great work there by GMX, not missing that opportunity. And now Epsilon are actually in a pretty decent spot here. Man advantage, putting some pressure, forcing the rotation out of LDLC on yard. But look at what LDLC are up to. This is so sick. They've got Apex up in garage, and now they've got Happy and Uzi pushing up from secret. They're looking to just eviscerate Epsilon, but Epsilon are 1 step ahead. They've already decided to rotate to ramp.
Yeah, and that Maniac's holding here does a little bit of damage, and I think that was a Molotov going out as well, but he needs to fall back and wait for his teammates, and that is exactly what he's doing. Apex got to be careful he doesn't get picked off here. They can't afford that, and he will take down SF, and now they have to just play it safely. They have a big upper hand here, because the clock is running down on Epsilon's side. Bomb is down as well. Maniac takes another one, runs out of bullets, and will eventually go down, but this should be their round. 2 on 3 is what we're looking at, and LDLC... These rounds are scary. Epsilon are definitely showing us they have what it takes to take rounds away with rifles.
It seems like, I mean, Epsilon, they're really focused on this lower site. LDLC have made the proper rotations. They've got 2 guys down here already to put a stop to this. There isn't any health on Kyoshima. It's all down to GMX now. He's got 77 with the AWP, but there's the deny. Apex does not let that bomb get planted, and GMX, he's left out in the woods now. He has nowhere to go. Epsilon got bogged down on ramp. LDLC shut them out, and then LDLC even made the right call because there was time for Epsilon to rotate upper. But LDLC were like, they're not going to do that. They just put all 3 of them right down below, and that was just too much for Epsilon to handle.
Exactly right. GMX is going to save the AWP, and actually everyone else can still buy on Epsilon's side here. They've lost 5 rounds in a row, so they are definitely going to be buying this round, unless they somehow have a problem with Mistu having a Galil, but that would be really silly. So, yep, 5 and 3 is what we're looking at, but the way Epsilon are playing right now, I would not be surprised if they can come right back into this first half.
If they can get, yeah, exactly. If they can get another couple rounds on the board. Let's see, as far as money is concerned for LDLC, I mean, well, by the time Epsilon get those couple rounds to actually get LDLC to eco, they'll already be happy with the half. So it's kind of a moot point, I guess. After that, it's just gravy. But for now, at least, Epsilon, so long as they can keep buying in these rounds, that's the important thing for them. That's all they really care about, being able to continue getting the plants so that they can continue putting together reasonable buys with good nades to support.
Yeah, an interesting battle going outside here where GMX was working together with Shoxy. Shoxy peeking for him, spotting where he is, and then GMX up on the silo, making sure that he can try and pick Kaylee off. And actually, I think Kaylee dodged a bit of a bullet then. He probably should have gone down. Now he's fallen all the way back, and he's got even more backup out here now. So this is scary. GMX going to take the peek, and he goes down against Kaylee. So this time, the AWP doesn't really work. Kaylee going to take the peek here, takes down one more. Now they come rushing in towards this A-bomb site, and it's just not working out for the terrorist side. SF is alone in a 1-on-3 here.
Yeah, especially when you have Kaylee alive in the garage like that. That's just not going to happen. Good spray by Apex to lock up the final kill on SF, but as soon as Epsilon tried to wrap around through main, they still hadn't gotten rid of Kaylee. And so he just rotates around through garage and manages to stop them cold. As soon as Epsilon lose a little bit of momentum going in through main, Kaylee's able to pick up another frag from behind. So it's just not working out for Epsilon. And now we see, due to not having that plant, they have to go with pistols. And I like how Epsilon, they don't really mess around, huh? Straight up 5 CZs, like they just go for it.
And the grenades, I mean, look at this, 2 Molotovs and smokes and everything else. Epsilon are kind of saying, we have the money to buy next round anyway, so the investment into these grenades is not going to it's not going to bankrupt us. But if we get the opening kill, if we ever get into a position where we're close to a bomb site, we can actually defend it, and that's kind of cool.
Okay, well,
grenade is going to rain out, and they I only did. Oh my god, if they had been like just a few centimeters further up there, that would have been sick. But they all make it down to down to secret, and now Uzi's going to be spotting a couple of them. Got to be careful here. Apex picks off one, and Uzi going a little bit too aggressive for my liking, but he does get the first 2 kills there, and they're sort of sandwiched in, so it works out. I was really scared if they turned around on him then, that could have been an AK gone, but they come out of this round flawlessly. And Semler, you mentioned the money earlier. Well, look at it now.
Yeah, now, yeah, exactly. It's completely out of control for LDLC. Everybody can afford to buy for several rounds at a time at this point. Kaylee might be the only one who struggles a little bit, but then Apex has got 15 grand in the bank. So that's after buying. Apex has got 15 grand. Like, that's a real problem for Epsilon. But Epsilon, at least, they still managed to get, well, after that round of eco, they've got enough for a good buy going in here. What was worrisome was mainly Apex. Him almost getting caught out there. He got 2 kills, but then it was a very close thing before he got caught up in window room there. So LDLC playing with fire, but then Apex, that's the thing. He was key. If he gets overrun immediately, Epsilon had enough nades to be able to turn that against LDLC and just smoke up, flash up that site and get that bomb plant. But because Apex gets kills and survives to boot, Epsilon just get bogged down and they can't really make anything of the round.
Kaylee outside again. Oh, he gets the shot on Shoxy, who hasn't been doing much. Happy goes down in secret in a position where he pretty should have been able to get that kill on Misto, so pretty good job from Misto's point there. Now they're going to try and wrap around through ramp room and down through secret. Probably going to be a push towards the P-bomb side unless they turn around, and Maniac just making it out. Actually a little bit scary because GMX ran through, but Kaylee takes him down, and now Misto and SF are left alone. 40 seconds left here in a 2-on-3, and I think they know where all the terrorist members are. Misto going to run up, goes down, and SF will be dropped. That's Kaylee with the triple, and right now rocking 14, 1, and 5. So just to pad myself a little bit on the back, I did say that one of the things I remember from LDLC on this map was Kaylee opening outside, and to be fair, in the first 5 rounds, 6 rounds, I wasn't really very impressed, but in the last couple of rounds, he's been hitting some good shots.
He has, certainly. I mean, that shot right there on Shoxy was something... That's not something to be taken lightly right there. But SF has got to be heartbroken there. Him having to go back and pick up that bomb at the end of that round probably made it so that LDLC had a real chance. If he got out there with his teammate at the same time on A site, he probably kept his teammate alive there, and they may have had a fighting chance. So again, it's coming down to very close things here for Epsilon. Just the small details that are really ending up costing them at least solid chances at taking rounds. But then again, they are getting those chances to begin with. So really, LDLC, they're on the razor's edge right now. They can't afford to make a single mistake, or Epsilon are going to pounce.
True enough. Maniac trying to keep them back here. Not really playing to get a huge amount of kills, just buying time. They're going to run right through the fire, taking some damage. Not a huge amount. Maniac is down here, and Uzi as well. The bomb is dropped, so the whole game has been given away here. Epsilon are definitely caught now, and it's Shoxy. Well, he's up in the A-bomb site, but without a bomb, and in a 1-on-4, he might be able to get a surprise kill jumping down, and they haven't hurt him yet. He's going to pick up one, goes for the second one. Shoxy, can we see another ace? 2 more kills, and it's doable. He's got 40 seconds.
2 more kills. He's got 40 seconds, but he still has to get his hands on that bomb. And Apex is just waiting around this corner in case Shoxy decides to go for a flank. Kaylee looking towards that upper site. It seems like LDLC are willing to play the clock at this point because Epsilon is rapidly running out of time here. 20 seconds now left on this clock, and Shoxy is no closer to getting that bomb plant. He still has to get the bomb. Now he's going to start running. That's going to be the sound. Apex is going to be listening for it, and there's the nade to boot. Apex already getting in position, but Shoxy is so smart. He actually manages to get into vents and catch Kaylee completely off guard.
You gotta be joking me. He has to do this. Can he get the quad kill? Peeks out now. Apex has spotted him. He's going to run around on the other side. Apex versus Shoxy here, and Shoxy goes for the instant peek, takes a lot of damage, and Apex still waiting for him, but he's got to be careful, and Shoxy will go down. Oh no! My god, I mean, it shows you, doesn't it, just how intelligent a player he is. Doing that move, even getting that close in a 2-on-1 was very impressive, but he was 1 bullet away, 12 health away from winning that.
That's just an example of how terrifying Shoxy can be. To manage to get around. Again, Apex just a second too late to stop Shoxy from getting into the vents. Kaylee drops down into the vents, expecting Shoxy to be just going for the plant on lower site. Instead, he gets shot in the side of the head, and Shoxy gets up onto upper. He even just gets the plant, and that's so big. And even in that sort of situation, Shoxy should have never been allowed to get that plant. So just him doing that already puts his team ahead. Just big plays from Shoxy. This is why he's considered to be one of the top players in the world.
Ooh. A little bit too aggressive there. Was happy, and he's done that a couple of times already. So I think actually Epsilon just adjusting to the fact that they've seen him do that. Not exactly the best start, and maybe, well, for Epsilon, it's obviously a great start, and it is kind of about time. They've lost 9 rounds in a row, and they need to start picking one up here.
Yeah, they can't let LDLC just have a flawless half here. I mean, apart from the pistol and the bonus 2 rounds, like, they need to get at least a couple more here. They need to get 5 rounds, I'd say, Epsilon. So LDLC, there's Kaylee striking back, picks off Shoxy. Apex going to peek into hut. He drops the bomb as well. So this is just excellent now for LDLC. They're going to be sitting on top of this bomb. The mollies to delay everything further, but now it's whether Epsilon decide to speed up after this or not. The smoke, Kiyoshima finally manages to sneak forward and pick up that bomb, and now the rotation through.
Look at Apex. He's just walking in here. He's actually on their side of the smoke, and Kiyoshima somehow knows. Incredible game sense. That's very unlikely that he would guess that, but extremely well played by Kiyoshima. Unfortunately, he's probably going to be too late. He's going to run right into the face of Maniac, who takes him down. So in spite of a good start, it's not enough. And here's where it becomes tricky, I think, Similar, because when you have a lot of close rounds, it can be a sign that you're just on the verge of winning, and I think you can keep telling yourself and your teammates that for a long time, but once you go, 10 rounds in a row, next time you say, we're so close, guys, 1 more round, we'll get it, it starts to ring a little bit hollow, I think, and that's when the team really struggles.
That's when, I mean, when you're coming so close every time, that's it. It starts to weigh on you. There's no doubting about it. There's no doubt about it, rather. So,
well, I mean, it's like initially getting close is a big momentum boost. You're like, all right, we just got them down to a 1-on-1. Next time we'll just win that 1-on-1 and we're good to go. But over the course of a long time, that's not going to work. Oh, happy. Oh, my God. All right, then. It's a shotgun meant for point-blank range, more or less, but Mag 7 does work even at further range. That's the bomb down again in the hut, just like last time, Semler, and I don't know what's happening here.
Happy felt like his wallet was getting a little light, so he decided to go and make $1,800 real quick. Like that's ridiculous that he manages to get it at that range. Great flash there to stop Kaylee from stopping them from getting into main. However, Epsilon are managing to wrap around onto this upper site, but Happy gets another kill. Gets another one! 4 for him. Apex comes in through main to rob him of the ace, but still Happy. 4 kills.
Ouch. Yeah.
The bank. All of a sudden he's at 11k. No way.
And a big shout out to the guy we actually saw. I don't know if he invented it, but the guy we saw make this kind of play popular with the Max 7 around this hot area is JW, who's actually watching. He's still watching. So shout out to you, JW. We saw him do this from Fnatic with great success. So it's cool to see that the Frenchmen have picked this up as well.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, it's so brutal. I mean, we just saw we've seen what JW can do with it in the past. I mean, it's good that Happy took note. But this is the final round of the first half, and Epsilon have already dropped 2 members now. Maniac even adding insult to injury, picking one up with an HE nade on Kyoshima.
I'm pretty sure he actually I think that must have landed between his feet. I think he got stopped by the HE grenade and couldn't run any further, and he was down to 26 already, so he just went down. And you're right, this is the last of the half. I mean, 12-3... you can come back from it. This is not like Inferno or something else. So Epsilon are not out of the match yet, but this is very, very tough. And, you know, the pistol round and the 4th round are going to be hugely critical.
Exactly. It's just the common hurdles that are going to have to be overcome here. But LDLC, this is so far, even if it ends 11-4, that's a dominant performance. Now it ends 12-3. I mean, you finish 12-3 and a half, and Epsilon are just looking at that saying, we just got slapped 12 times in the face. We weren't able to do a thing about it. And now we have to go into a half where we're only allowed to give up 4 rounds, 3 rounds basically, but 2 rounds if we want to just win outright. We don't want this to go to overtime. They can only allow LDLC to have 2 rounds in this half. That's very tough.
Yes, it is. Mentally and also just skill-wise. Now is the time for Epsilon to just use all the reserves they have. This is the grand finals of Dreamhack Valencia. Welcome to Room on Fire. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. Remember to follow the channel. We're almost at 130,000, so please click that follow button. And subscribe as well if you want to really help us out a lot. LDLC on the verge of winning Dreamhack Valencia with Epsilon being down quite a bit.
Let's see what they have in store for us for the pistol right now. There's 2 guys for LDLC getting ready to go through radio. The bomb is following as well, and it's going to be the ramp rush straight out. SF is here with the pistol. He's blazing away, but he can't get a kill. He drops 2 guys very low, and now Shoxy rotating in does damage, but he doesn't get a kill.
GMX also falling low. Shoxy and GMX both low, but they can still do this. They have the man advantage now, and it feels like maybe LDLC decide, actually, let's go upper instead. And Kyoshima is up here defending. I think Shoxy's close by, so right now Epsilon has some very good position. I think LDLC are going to have a really hard time doing this. Kyoshima, oh no, you must be joking. He's going to get the second kill. He will. Triple for him, and Uzi left in a 1-on-2, which is manageable, but I think they know where he is. Yeah, that shot just meant Mistu definitely knows. He's going to be walking right out and goes down.
Does he swap for the 5-7? Yes, he does. 30 seconds left. He's running out of time. Kyoshima actually peeks out. Kyoshima gets caught behind. If Uzi wins this, so close. Kyoshima can't seem to land the shot. It's a real duel now. 20 seconds left. And Kyoshima finally clutches it. 4 kills for Epsilon. 4 kills from him. But what a performance from Kyoshima. He just single-handedly saved his team.
Oh, yes, he did. That was really, really sick. I thought for a moment that Uzi was going to steal that away, and that would have been the ultimate insult, but very well played. And now we'll see. Almost anything can happen. LDLC, they got to keep that composure, because this is just like on Inferno. When they had a huge lead, they got to basically really focus on getting the last few rounds here. Otherwise, Epsilon can come right back in this game and even win it.
That's the start. That's the start. It's the first step, at least. The first step. But Epsilon, you know, we can't. I mean, right now, Epsilon have got one hell of a long way ahead of them. They're looking at Hercules jealously because they think, you know, that his trials were a walk in the park at this point. I mean, this is very tough. And LDLC, I mean, LDLC, they've gone for a bit of a mixed buy out of this, but look at this, the play from Apex. Does he actually get spotted, though? And yes, he will. Shoxy's holding, and he gets the kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, Shoxy was holding in exactly that position because it's such a great idea, but now they're going to try and chase Shoxy down. He gets time to reload and then goes down. This is already a pretty good round coming up from LDLC. If they can get one more kill in, it'd be beautiful. SF very low on health, and he's got to be wrapped around as well. He's on 30 HP, and Happy's making a lot of noise here. If he's a little bit quiet, he'll get an easy frag on the French player.
Yeah, well, he stops just in time. He stops just in time, but SF gets around the box just in time. Are you kidding me? The timing so far in this round, and now Happy, he's almost out of bullets. He's got 12 bullets left. He needs to get this kill right away. Run up, gets the headshot, and now we're into a real situation here. 2 on 2, but there's only 20 seconds left, and they are so far away from the bomb or any sight.
And the really frightening thing is if Kiyoshima had been pushing out to help him there, he would have gone down to Maniac. So it's kind of great that he didn't. Happy in a 1-on-2, very, very tough for him to win this. He's going to try and pre-fire them, but he does go down. Still very significant economic damage dealt here to Epsilon. They only survive with 2 members, which means LDLC, well, they won't be able to buy this round, but they're going to be able to inflict a lot of damage in the upcoming rounds.
I mean, CZs, you can... I mean, so long as they can keep Epsilon's money low, right? Because that's where life got really difficult for Epsilon on the T side, is once, well, LDLC started winning rounds flat out with 4 guys living, that sort of thing, where they started developing a real bank. So LDLC were never under any real pressure. If they lost 4 guys, no problem. They all buy up again, and they're all fully equipped. They get whatever the hell they want. So LDLC, they just have to keep Epsilon on the back foot, keep the pressure on them, and make sure that they're spending money round after round here.
Yeah, they need to come out of this round with all their weapons alive. That'd be a really good start for them here. Shoxy doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't even have body armor, actually, which I think is a bit of a mistake on Shoxy's part. That's a big risk. I know Vendetta right now would be angry as all hell. And by the way, big shout out to Vendetta. He wanted to be here, guys, but he had already made other plans for today, so that's why he couldn't join us.
Yeah, family thing.
Happy running in, takes down Mistu, and then tries to run away. A bit of a hit and run coming out there. Maniac sneaking around outside, maybe able to find Shoxy and take him down, but instead I think he's going to get shot from above. Uzi, long range, takes down another player. Shoxy very low on health. Apex is going to take him down, even pre-firing. Now it's a 2-on-2, and now 1-on-2 as Apex is alone. He's probably going to get found here by GMX, but this is not a good start for Epsilon here to the second half.
Quick reactions out of Apex there at the end to spot GMX and get a shot on him even, so not too shabby. Shows that LDLC are pretty sharp right now. But that was a very expensive round for Epsilon. Losing 3 members like that should not have happened. Shoxy, that's the thing. That's what I don't understand now. Why isn't he going for the AWP? If he ecos in the last round, the reason why he doesn't spend anything in the last round is because he wants to go for an AWP. But he goes for a rifle. So why not just get the rifle last round and give your team an even better chance of just shutting LDLC down early?
Yeah, I am absolutely in 100% agreement. I have no idea why. I looked at the money at over 6,000. I thought, all right, fine. It's going to be an alt play. At least that makes sense. But now I'm really worried because Epsilon cannot afford to lose a round here. And LDLC, they have rifles. They've been doing fine with just pistols. If they're going to step it up, and already happy with the headshot. Kiyoshima making a lot of noise. He's going to get the 1 kill, but Maniac's so close by. And that's a great play. Kiyoshima takes down the bomb. And now Epsilon have a real chance of winning this. It's a 3-on-3, though. And that grenade takes down Kiyoshima. Now Shoxy and Mistu have to come up huge here. And
Shoxy turns away just as the man is coming out of vents there. Couldn't spot who it was. I believe it's Kaylee. Mistu still hanging around in the lobby, though. Gets the drop on Happy. Good patience there from him. Kaylee now going to walk around the corner. And Mistu, this is his round. 2 kills now. That's completely turned the tables on LDLC. Now it's Epsilon with the advantage. LDLC, the ones who are caught reeling. And 30 seconds left on this clock.
And a little bit confusing why LDLC decided to come in from 3 different angles, but at 3 different times. That doesn't make any sense. Shoxy's going to be able to take down Apex. They came through Squeak, 1 through CT, or sorry, Terrorist route, and then 1 coming through the radio room. And if they had all come even just close to the same time, Mistu would have been in a really odd corner where there was absolutely no way he could have actually won that. I guess they didn't know where Shoxy was, so it made it a little bit more difficult to make that timing, but great play from Epsilon. They held on to it, but that was also a little bit LDLC, screwing up at the end.
That was just odd. We saw a little bit of that shakiness on Mirage, sometimes on Inferno, but they've been a bit more solid here on Nuke. Now, however, they just have to try and get this round out of the way, get some damage onto Epsilon, get some kills. Do something. I would love to see them just go for an upper rush, but I do believe Epsilon are just nading Hut, mollying Hut. It's not a very attractive scenario for LDLC to be running through fire and flames just to get mowed down on the upper site. So they've got to find another way in, and this is the struggle on Nuke in particular. The finding your way onto a site as a terrorist is it's very difficult. This is why this map is so CT sided. It's very tough once the CT side has a good grasp on the map and a good economy to boost it.
Well, this was starting off a great round for Epsilon, because right now the CT side actually needs some rounds where they just don't lose anyone at all, but that's not happening. Uzi took 2 kills that round. It's still, I think, the best round Epsilon have had in a while, because they survived with 3 members, and their economy looks a little bit better, But now LDLC can buy again, and, you know, there's still no AWP on the CT side. Which, I mean, Shoxy hit some great shots at the time, but they was against unarmored targets, so it doesn't really have the same effect, does it?
Well, I think now it's like we're approaching the do or die time here for LDLC, because they have enough money to be able to buy in the next round to come. But if they do that, I mean, Epsilon are within striking distance, and if they lose that round, the following round, Epsilon are just, they run away with this game. So it is really just now time to get on the board in the second half, LDLC.
Oh, GMX catching Apex. They both had the exact same idea, but GMX was a little bit quicker, and Apex goes down. They're going to be running down secrets, or a different play coming out here from Epsilon. I think they are onto what's going on. In fact, look at the positions they have. GMX and Kyoshima and also Mistu really close to the vents, so this is going to be very tough for LDLC. They're a man down, and they got to try and see if they can put the bomb down while basically being surrounded.
It's just Epsilon. They aren't going to let it slide. They've even got, I mean, they've got the nades to stop it as well. Shoxy with the molly, for example. HE's smokes. They've got the whole shebang. But a great timing there from Mistu. He misses up, though. He does get the kill afterwards. A little bit sloppy there from Mistu. Maybe the nerves playing a bit. But GMX on the lower site will find Maniac with the bomb, and that's going to slow things down further.
Yeah, I think everyone right now is really, really nervous. A lot of mistakes that round from LDLC where they could have picked up some kills. They don't get the bomb down, but now they've lost so many rounds in a row that they are going to be able to buy anyway. 9-12. I mean, at this rate, Epsilon can come back and win this whole game. And finally, they actually have a round where they have a little bit more money. You see Kyoshima and Shoxy have, you know, over 7,000, over 8,000 for Shoxy, and that is really important.
That's, I mean, that if they want to go for the option of an AWP, Shoxy has it now. That's the sort of thing, as well as rifles to drop for two teammates in the next rounds to come. So there's that breathing room that we're talking about here. But this is that second buy that I was talking about for LDLC. So they do actually have another chance here to really shut Epsilon down. They line up for him. Epsilon almost going ahead and giving it to them there. Happy up and Squeak is going to take the duel and gets Kyoshima and shuts the door in his face. Yeah,
and then Mistu comes in right afterwards. So actually they've been playing really solidly, I think, in this lobby area. Epsilon, they're making sure that they either, you know, get the first kill, and if they don't, they get the return right afterwards. So that's kind of a good failsafe they have going on. The bomb all the way out here in Apex, maybe a little bit scary, but he's managed to reset and just fall back. 4-on-4, and Epsilon are keeping this a tight little circle.
I'm surprised GMX is actually moving out here. I think that Epsilon, it's starting to cross their minds that this may be an upper play. But GMX going back into Toxic, I think would be very solid for Epsilon right now, especially if LDLC decide to wrap around through vents and through long. As we see, they are going to go for the lower site here with 30 seconds left on the clock. They're starting to run out of options, but GMX is now out in the open. This is risky
a little bit scary. Oh, flashbang comes in, and they find him. Mistu's the closest person by. The bomb goes down, and if LDLC pick up this round, it might be disaster for the Epsilon squad. Shoxy comes down through the vents, and actually it's him and SF just trying to see if they can retake this site, but with that bomb plant, that is going to be very near impossible, and they might even think about saving these rifles, because they just don't have that much money, even if two of them have. Shoxy goes down, and now look at the money issues already. $1,500 here on GMX. Luckily, Kyoshima and Shoxy are sort of playing the Epsilon bank here, but they can only do that for basically one round.
Yeah, that was very odd at the end there. I mean, that's I don't know if that was nerves or what for both teams, but Epsilon, I mean, Shoxy and SF, they were shooting at each other in the vents, basically, because they thought that Uzi was still there. And then LDLC, I think it was Apex, or no, Apex gets naded by a teammate on ramp. So it's like, okay, the teammate didn't know that Apex was there. What's happening there? And then Epsilon decided to run into the lower site and just die. Seems like a very, very weird chain of events there between both of the teams. Actually, both of the teams making some weird decisions.
I like the fact that Shoxy's picked up an AWP outside. Unfortunately, they're not going for him this time, but if they lose this upcoming round, LDLC, obviously they are going to be ecoing. Great flashes, rain in. Are they going to be able to do anything? They've not found Mistu yet. He's in the back of sight. Flashbang comes through. Oh no, he goes down, and another player falls. Epsilon going in one at a time is not the recipe to try and retake this site. Kyoshima comes out the vents, and he's going to get the one kill, and then gets dropped, and that's it. 14-9, and no more money on Epsilon. Similar, this is a bit of a heartbreaking moment because they've been fighting so hard to get back in this game.
It's the end of the road. It's the end of the road here. Because at this point, Epsilon, do they, like right now we're about to see the decision. Do they save or do they buy? And it's going to be pistols for them. So it is overtime now, the call. And this is possible on Nuke. they can shut it down and actually run it back. Epsilon, if they regain their composure, they can take this to overtime if LDLC pick up this round. So it's not like crazy that they're actually going to save for pistols, but this is it. You know, if they don't manage to pick up the next round, obviously it's over and LDLC will be the champions.
That's what it's down to. Kiyoshima goes down, last guy. Nobody dies on LDLC side, and we're looking, as you said, at match and map and tournament point here for LDLC. These are the grand finals. It is the final map, and they only need one more. Epsilon need to win the next 6 rounds in a row, and at least they have the equipment, kind of, except for Shoxy, who's got no body armor. So I actually very much disagree with that. I don't think he should have bought an Auto Sniper. Much rather see him with an M4 and then body armor.
M4 body armor, or at least an AWP, right? One shot with the AWP, it's done. Auto sniper, they can still get the stray shot in on you. I mean, yeah, obviously a helmet isn't going to help you versus AKs, so that's the thing. He's just thinking like, I'm going to slay them before they can slay me. But it's a brave move here from Shoxy. Let's see if it costs Epsilon in the end.
I definitely don't agree with this. I hope he's going to prove us wrong, because it'd be cool if this game could go a little bit further here, or even if they can make the comeback to overtime. Look at Happy shooting through. Oh no, you're kidding me! He takes down Kiyoshima, and Maniac shooting at SF down here. This was the worst thing that could have happened to Epsilon.
I think that's the first time I've seen a successful wallbang like that. Just mow somebody from 100 to 0. That is pretty slick.
He did it all in the last 2 bullets. Basically, he just hit nothing for the first very long time. GMX gets a good kill in return here. Now the push is on, and they're trying to get in here. Shoxy lines them up, gets the one. Auto Sniper paying off so far, but he needs more. He's going to get more. Great double kill, leaving it up to Happy here. 1 on 2. He's still got 35 seconds, which is actually not that much. Shoxy making a lot of noise. Is going to come through. Goes down. Instant headshot. And now it's down to SF. Very low on health. Happy's going to peek out here. He spots him. Low on health. This could be it. And Happy goes down. What? It looked like he had that for sure, but SF prevails. Even picks up the Auto Sniper. And Epsilon stay in the game for 1 more round. But actually, outside the Auto Sniper, they don't even have a lot.
No, they don't. That's the thing. They spent nearly everything in the last round just getting into this. And so this round, look at this. I mean, thankfully they saved the Auto Sniper for Shoxy, or he'd be out with like a FAMAS or something, or a Deagle again. But the other 3, like 3 rifles and a Swag 7 and very limited nades. Whereas LDLC, they had quite a bit of bank to fall back on, and they still do. So it's a full buy from LDLC. But Shoxy gets the 2, and this time, throwing bodies on the fire actually put it out. Shoxy is down.
And a slightly ridiculous idea for LDLC to all group up right in front of the Auto Sniper. Basically making sure they took maximum damage from that weapon. That was a little bit stupid. Especially because they didn't really have to fight him when he's that far back. But, well, I guess they are feeling a little bit brave at the moment. And now they're in a 4 on 3. Grenade down on Kiyoshima. But Epsilon can still come back and tie this. And I actually think that if Epsilon managed to tie this game and bring it to overtime, they have a very good shot at winning it in overtime.
Well, they can. I mean, they'll be carrying over on that CT side, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of momentum that would be going their way if they can actually run this back. But there's the flashes. Happy starting to show here on the upper site. We have 2 members moving in, but Mistu at the back of the site. This has taken too long. The flashes have worn off. He's very... he's going to be able to lock down both of the remaining kills here for this half. So Epsilon, 4 guys living this time is excellent for them. They only have to drop for Shoxy to get him equipped.
Kaylee picks up an AWP, which is actually kind of a big investment here. It's 2 rounds in a row here for Epsilon, so LDLC in the upcoming round, everyone can buy except for Kaylee. So that's why I'm saying it's a big investment, is if they kind of throw this away, then they're gonna have to make some tough calls here. The last thing LDLC want to do is end up ecoing and giving LDLC, or Epsilon, sorry, a free round here, because they only have 4 rounds to play with, and they just need 1 of them, which is not easy.
No, far from it. But I mean, this is the thing, though. LDLC fully equipped as well. Let's see if they're actually managing to catch anybody off guard here. Apex with the wraparound through main. He could catch Mistu off guard, but Mistu is actually hiding in the smoke. Apex doesn't see him. Oh, a golden opportunity that's gone to waste. And now Apex just getting the heel shot out from under him. Apex is down.
Yeah, not working out the way he intended. Maniac and Kaylee sort of aiming at each other, not really the right target, and Shoxy in a much better position to defend the A-bomb side. At least Kaylee's going to walk out and does take down GMX, but that's not enough. Shoxy now falls down, and I wish he would have stayed up there because he could have been in the A-bomb side instantly. Goes for Kaylee, but goes down instead. Now it's actually a 4 on 3 coming up from behind. No, SF goes back. I thought he was going to backstab.
No, this is Kiyoshima now. Kiyoshima is about to walk out on Kaylee. This is golden. The big opportunity. Kaylee gets flanked, never even sees it coming. Kyoshima now managing to make it happen here. Misku lends a hand. Uzi strikes back, takes out Kyoshima. It's the wraparound. They're going to come in through main as well. It's a knife fight. What is going on?
Happy alone in a 1-on-2 with 20 seconds left. Not a lot of time. SF's going to come out of the vents. Just any second goes down. Oh, go! Oh, no! Happy! He does the 1-on-2! They had him locked in, and Happy, he's been playing really, really well. I mean, he's had 20 kills, which is not quite top, but he's had a great tournament here at the end, at least in the grand finals. But to win it like that is almost highway robbery, isn't it?
That was beautiful. But then again, he got a second crack at it. He couldn't pull it off the last round. This time he does. Happy wins it for the team in the end in the clutch. In a clutch 1v2 as well. That's icing on the cake right there. That'll make you feel good.